Welcome back as we learn the pricing and valuation of currency swaps. Let's jump right in. Currency swaps are different from the other types of swaps we've discussed in a number of ways. Firstly, there is actual exchange of notional amounts in both currencies at the initiation and expiration of the swap. For example, if the euros per US dollar rate is 0.8 at initiation, the swap can be an exchange of 10 million US dollars for 8 million euros. These amounts are exchanged at initiation and exchanged back at expiration of the swap. Second, payments are not netted. The US dollar receiver will receive the full interest in USD, and the euro receiver will receive the full interest in euro. Note the differences in direction. And third, each side of the swap can be either fixed or floating. So you can have three types of currency swaps: a floating for floating, fixed for floating, and fixed for fixed swap. For the curriculum, we will only discuss fixed for fixed currency swaps. So for this swap, we have green as the fixed rate USD receiver and red is the fixed rate euro receiver. This swap can be replicated with two fixed coupon bonds, a $10 million bond and an €8 million bond. In the lesson on interest rate swaps, we've proven that the coupon rate for a fixed coupon par bond can be calculated based on 1 minus the final discount factor divided by the sum of discount factors. So for the US dollar fixed rate bond, the fixed rate is calculated based on USD interest rates. So let's say the LIBOR rates are the same as in the last lesson. We can calculate the coupon rate for the USD bond, which is 1.6%. Since the USD notional amount is $10 million, the USD receiver should receive $160,000 interest at each settlement date. Similarly, since the euro bond is on a fixed rate, we also use the same formula to calculate the fixed coupon rate. To do that, we will need the corresponding interest rate benchmark for euro. Calculate the discount factors, and we get a fixed rate coupon of exactly 1%. Based on €8 million principal, the euro receiver would receive €80,000 at each settlement date. Do note that the coupon rates we have calculated are unannualized rates. The annualized rates are 6.4% for USD and 4% for euro. Now that we know how to determine the fixed rates for a currency swap, let's learn how to value swaps. As always, there are two sides of the contract, so we need to be very sure which party we are referring to. The dollar receiver is long the dollar bond and short the euro bond. So the value of the swap is the value of the dollar bond minus the value of the euro bond. This is all in reverse for the euro's receiver. Now let's value the bonds based on the new interest rates and exchange rate. As we've learnt in the past lessons, the value of a bond at any point is the PV of the remaining coupons plus the PV of the principal repayment. On a per unit par basis, we can simplify the equation to this form, which allows us to use the discount factors. So for the USD bond, we have earlier determined that the fixed coupon rate is 1.6%, so the value per dollar par is 0.9974. Based on a $10 million principal, the value of the bond at this point is $9.974 million. And for the euro bond, we have earlier determined the fixed coupon rate to be 1%, so the value per euro is 1.002. Based on €8 million principal, this works out to a value of €8.016 million. For the USD fixed rate receiver, the value of the swap is the value of the dollar bond minus the value of the euro bond, which we should convert to USD based on the current exchange rate. This makes it $9.431 million. The value of the swap is therefore $543,000. The value to the counterparty is the negative of this value, and if we want to present in the opposite currency, simply adjust based on the spot exchange rate of 0.85. And that's how you price and value a fixed-for-fixed currency swap. Here's some practice for you. Hammerhead Holdings is a British company that needs to borrow 50 million HKD for 1 year for its Hong Kong subsidiary. Hammerhead borrowed the equivalent amount in GBP at an exchange rate of 10 HKD per GBP, and entered a 1-year fixed-for-fixed swap with a swap dealer, with quarterly exchange of interest payments. At initiation of the swap, the following spot interest rates are recorded. What is an appropriate unannualized fixed interest rate for both legs of the swap? Pause the video now and work out your answer. And we're back. Before we get into the calculations, it may be beneficial to illustrate the relationships and cash flows. Hammerhead Holdings needs to borrow 50 million Hong Kong dollars for its Hong Kong subsidiary, which at 10 HKD per GBP works out nicely to £5 million. So the company borrows £5 million and swaps this for 50 million HKD at the initiation of the swap, and the money goes to its subsidiary. For the 4 settlements during the year, Hammerhead receives interest in GBP and the swap dealer receives interest in HKD. At expiry, the principal amounts are swapped back. So essentially, we have 2 bonds. Hammerhead is long the GBP bond with principal of 5 million and short the HKD bond with principal of 50 million. The per unit par quarterly unannualized coupon rate of each bond is calculated using this formula. Plug in the appropriate discount factors, we get an unannualized interest rate of 0.521% for the GBP bond and 0.935% interest rate for the HKD bond. Next, on the second settlement date, the following interest rates are recorded, and the HKD per GBP exchange rate dropped to 9.5. What is the value of the swap to Hammerhead at this point? Pause the video now and work out your answer. And we're back. We're at this point now, and there are just 2 settlements left. We will just need the 90-day and 180-day rates. Do not use the sum of DF here, which are meant to mislead you. The sum of the 2 relevant rates are as follows. So, with the relevant discount factors, we are able to calculate the value of the respective bonds based on the unannualized coupon rates which we calculated earlier. They work out to 1.0034 and 1.0032 per unit par. Based on their notional principals, the value of the GBP bond is £5.017 million, and the value of the HKD bond is 50.16 million HKD. Given the exchange rate is 9.5, this amount is £5.28 million. Since Hammerhead is long the GBP bond and short the HKD bond, the value of the swap is the GBP position minus the value of the HKD position. Plug in the figures in GBP, we get minus £253,000. And that concludes this lesson on currency swaps. Basically, we're applying the concepts we've learnt in the past lessons, but the different currencies and directions of cash flows can be quite confusing. So do sketch out the parties and their cash flows to help you understand better. With that, we also conclude this section on pricing and valuation of forward commitments. In the next topic, we'll learn the pricing and valuation of